Welcome back to Royal Divine. Mail on Sunday exclusive. Prince Andrew was left tearful after Charles told him he would never return to royal duties. Before we continue, I encourage you to subscribe so you do not miss any of our new update. Prince Andrew and NBSP was left tearful after a disturbing face-to-face assembly with Charles, then Prince of Wales, who instructed his youthful brother he will by no means return to royal duties, a supply has claimed. The Duke of York believes he should still be of value as a working member of the royal family, despite his affiliation with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein and NBSP, and has lobbied strenuously to resume his former roles. But the Mail on Sunday is familiar with these hopes, have been dashed in a personal early morning assembly at Charles's Berkeley property in Scotland, days before the Queen's death. No one else was once existing for the discussions, described as emotional and fraught. Andrew was once absolutely blindsided as supply instructed the Moes, including that the selection has left these round the Duke worried for him. He is completely bereft. He usually believed there was once a way back. There will be similarly proof of the Duke's isolation subsequent Sunday, when he will be absent from the Remembrance Day provider at the cenotaph, the first in 70 years barring Queen Elizabeth II. Stripped of his respectable duties, he no longer has a function to play. Andrew used to be extraordinarily shut to the Queen and tried to elevate the trouble of his return to public lifestyles, many instances with her, stated the source. On some events she would say mildly conciliatory matters, however most of the time she would trade the problem immediately. It is understood that most senior figures in the royal family had concept the remember settled, that there was once no way back. Yet this had no longer been Andrew's understanding. Naive as it may additionally sound, he usually had hopes of regaining his function as a senior royal, persevered the source. At the assembly Charles instructed him that he can go off and have a correct life, a pleasant life. However, that his public existence as a royal is at an end. Andrew, 62, used to be stripped of his Navy affiliations and royal patronages in January, after he misplaced his bid to quash a civil lawsuit in America, introduced by way of Jeffrey Epstein's former sex slave Virginia Giuffre, who claimed she had been compelled to have intercourse with the Duke, which he strenuously denied. The Duke settled the civil case in February for a suggested $12 million. Besides accepting legal responsibility, and had believed this would permit him to return. Prince Andrew and NBSP has been accused of no longer but carrying out any charity work, regardless of pledging to make amends for his intercourse abuse scandal. It has been mentioned that the disgraced Duke of York has as an alternative been enjoying golf, horse using and playing existence at his home, the Royal Lodge. The Duke was once in truth pictured these days on his weekly trip in Windsor, the place his horse may want to be viewed with a poppy pinned to its bridle. The 62-year-old's royal profession ended in shame after he used to be pressured to pay thousands and thousands of kilos in an out-of-court agreement to intercourse abuse accuser Virginia Giuffre earlier this year. She claimed he sexually abused her 3 instances in 2001. When she used to be 17, after being trafficked through disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. Although Andrew has constantly denied any wrongdoing, the contract was once now not an admission of liability. However, the Queen's supposedly favored son was once stripped of his royal patronages and honorary Navy titles. At the time of Andrew's settlement, a assertion stated that the Duke would exhibit his remorse by supporting the combat in opposition to the evils of intercourse trafficking, and through helping its victims. And a pal stated that there had been a number of charitable proposals underneath lively consideration. However, the today's allegations from the Sun claim that many proposals to go through with charity work have stalled after Buckingham Palace permission was once sought. Nigel Cawthorne, writer of Prince Andrew, Epstein, Maxwell and the Palace, said, "Surely he can locate a charity someplace in the world that will have him. His recognition can't get any worse, and is a stain on the however doing charity work will take the part off and exhibit a little bit of contrition." Sources declare that the prince has lost focuses after his tries had been in many instances blocked. Andrew was once in addition dragged lower back into the Epstein scandal closing month after the pedophile's conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell hailed the Duke of York as a dear friend. Thanks for